And some people say democracy is a Western concept. It's a Western word, but the idea of freedom and security, beautifully balanced, is a concept that is acceptable to human beings across the globe. And this is what we want. People want to be free, but they want to be secure as well. This is why when the Americans talk about the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, everybody else can understand that. We all want our lives to be protected. We all want to be free. We all want to be able to find our own happiness, the freedom to search for our own happiness, to build up our own happiness, not to have other people's idea of happiness imposed on us, whether we want it or not. So I think when we say we want democracy, we want the kind of simple freedoms and securities that people all over the world want. Archbishop Desmond Tutu was talking about the rights of women and girls. In Burma, women are supposed to have a relatively high status in society, and yet we are still the second-class gender. We can't deny that still, even in Burma. And these days, there's a problem of human trafficking. And of course, the majority of those who are trafficked are women and girls. So this shows that there's a lot still to be done for women and girls in Burma, as in Africa and other places in the world. We would like to join hands with those who are trying their best to strengthen the position of women. By joining hands with women from all over the world, I think that we will be able to achieve our goal, which is security for all the people in Burma, men and women.
We're losing the sound a little bit, but we heard the essence of what you said, and yeah, you have another partner in your campaign. When you look at the Arab Spring, does it resonate with you because of the struggle you have made for dignity and democracy and changing the opportunity for people to control their own destiny?
Yes, of course. Movements like these, like the ones that have been going on in the Arab countries, means something to people all over the world who are struggling for their own freedom. It reminded many of us in Burma of what happened in 1988, right, when our people rose up to ask for democracy. Of course, our societies are very different, but in the end, we're all human beings. And I think we can all understand each other's hopes and fears, aspirations. We would like the Arab countries to be as happy and prosperous and secure as we would want our own country to be.
I'll give you another opportunity. As you sit there smitten.
I'm dazed. I just want to say too how inspirational you have been, pointing out that ultimately good will prevail, that we believe God wants this world to be a world that is more compassionate, that is more gentle, that is more caring, that is more sharing. And you live that out. And I mean, when one would have expected that you would have been hard and you're so petite, demure, and
he's irrepressible. Let me just look at the last year. You released... Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say this is going to turn out to be a mutual admiration society. Because we've got inspiration from South Africa. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's you. She wants
you.
Yes, go ahead.
You were asking me a question, something about last year.
Oh, I was. I wanted you to reflect on, I mean, whether is it turning a corner, do you believe? I mean, you were released in November, I think, of last 2010. Are you having, you feel that there is real traction taking place in terms of building on the possibility of changing Myanmar?
I think there's a possibility of change. I think this I noticed from on the very first day I was released, because I saw so many young people in the crowd who came to greet me. Many more young people than I'd ever seen in other crowds that had come to greet me in many parts of Burma before I was put away in 2003.
Right.
And this made me understand that there was some change going on, change that was coming from the people. And I think that's the best and most reliable kind of change. And of course, you will probably have heard that I've had talks with some of the representatives of the government, and we hope that we are going to see signs of real change very soon. There has been a lot of talk about change, but people always want to see something concrete, and they're right too. Talk is never enough. But at least it's a beginning. And I think we are beginning to see the beginning of change.
Go ahead.
Yes. We have said, I have said, I'm looking forward to coming to Burma when you are inaugurated as the head of government there. Quite seriously.
Oh, I'll have
We couldn't hear here because of the applause for that. Would you repeat that?
I'll have to be very, very ambitious because I do want him to come.
We're all witness to something that's going on here. Mutual admiration and more. What is it that the world can do to aid in the struggle that you're engaged in?
Awareness. I always say that. What we really need is awareness. Awareness of what is going on in our country. It's not easy to know exactly what is going on. Sometimes I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on because so much is going on at the same time. But I think we need to cultivate an awareness of what is going on around us. And if the world wants to help Burma, the world needs to know what is happening in Burma. And this means a lot of effort. You don't get to know what's happening in a place just by looking at a newspaper from time to time. I think you really have to follow what is going on there and to think very, very deeply about the implications of every small change that you notice. Change is not always for the better, and even if it is for the better, it's not always sustained. So what we need is change in the right direction that is steady and sustainable. And we would like the world to keep an eye on what is happening.
Can your neighbors India and China do more?
Burma, and to help us. We know that it's a people of the world, and whether we want to or not, have to. I'm sorry?
Go ahead, continue.
I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear us as well? Okay, good.
Gone.
I'm sorry?
I think she's gone.
No, I don't. Did we lose?
Yes, I think it's gone.
Okay. I'm going to, whether she can continue to hear us or not, I want to invite President Clinton to come to her stage to talk with her when he comes back and is able to come out here. Because he said to me how excited he was, as I said earlier, to be here when this conversation was going to take place with you. So when he arrives, I hope he'll come back and join us. But awareness is one thing that you suggested. We have to be aware, and you just can't come and occasionally check on it. You have to have an ongoing sense of the necessity of awareness and contribution. But what is it that governments can do? What can President Obama do? And what can Hu Jintao do? And what can Mahmoud Singh do in terms of changing the dynamics of the situation?
I think, first of all, they should listen to the voice of the people of Burma. What is it that the people of Burma want? And then they can decide how they can help. Because with Hu Jintao and Manmohan Singh, we are neighbors. Burma is a neighbor of China and India, and we've always been good neighbors, and we would like to continue to be good neighbors. But times have changed, and circumstances have changed. And to continue to be good neighbors, certain policies will have to be changed. I believe that the best kind of relationship between any two countries is a good relationship between two peoples, not between the governments, between the peoples. And this I would like every head of government to keep in mind, that it's the peoples who matter long run. And with the United States government, I would like to take the opportunity to say that I very much appreciate what they have done for us over 2 decades now to help us in our struggle for democracy. But of course, we always think that more can be done. And I think this is so with people who are struggling. We always think that more can be done. And we would appreciate it very much if the process is helped by giving the right kind of encouragement in the right direction. This is not always easy. You have to decide what is the right kind of encouragement. And of course, they're always prepared to tell you what we think is the right kind of encouragement.
Is there specific things that you need in order to communicate your own struggle and your own passion? Do you have the access that you now need in order to communicate? Or are there limitations in terms of what you can do?
Well, this is the kind of thing that I could never have done 7 years ago,
yes,
to speak to you like this and to see you like this. So we are making progress, but we need more of this sort of progress. And what I'm very concerned about is that we need our young people to be more fit to cope with the challenges of this modern world. We need a better education system in Burma. We need better health care. We need a more open society in which our young people can realize their potential.
And are they aware, are the young people of Burma aware of your own struggle? Does everyone understand the plight that you have had to undergo?
I wouldn't say that everyone is aware of it or everyone understands, but I can say that a lot of young people are supporting us, and I think more and more every day, and that's terribly encouraging. They are very much involved in the network for democracy.
Social media plays a role in Burma?
Sorry?
Social media, as you know, played a prominent role in the Arab Spring. Does it play a role in Burma?
I don't think the media has quite the position here that it had in the Arab countries when the Spring began. Because in Burma, we do not have such a developed communication system, shall we put it that way? And very few of our young people really have access to the modern IT technology that played such an important role in the Arab Spring.
You have talked about freedom from fear. Remind us how you have been able to have a freedom from fear and why it's crucial in living the life that you have lived.
Well, if you were frightened all the time, you wouldn't be able to do a thing under the circumstances in which I had to live. And so I think I had to learn not to let fear control me. By freedom from fear, I do not mean that you don't feel free, you feel fear, but that you don't let fear control you. That it's not fear that should decide what you do or what you not do. You have to get over that fear in order to be committed to a cause in which you believe.
You also talked about changing values rather than regimes. How will you achieve a change in values?
By talking and talking, I suppose. So far, that's what I seem to have been doing. I try to talk to as many of our people as possible to make them understand what we are working for, what we are struggling for, and why. I think basically people have the right to know what other people are doing. If you want them to join us, then they must know why we are doing what we are doing. But I have to say that we don't need to explain that much. A lot of our people understand because they want the same thing that we want.
It gives me great honor, again, as I mentioned earlier, to invite President Clinton back because of what he said to this audience and what he said to me. So please invite President Clinton.
Hello. I was just jealous of the Bishop and Charlie having all the fun with you. And I wanted to thank you for doing this. And thank you for continuing to lead and inspire us all. And thank you for being willing to make all the sacrifices you have made to live the beautiful life you live. We're very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. And
thank you so much. This has been a remarkable experience for everybody in this room to have this opportunity to see and hear you live as you were speaking these words of aspiration and affirmation about universal values and your own sense of the very real possibilities of political change. I suspect that President Clinton, as well as Archbishop Tutu, would very much like to be there on a day that you see the democracy that you have fought for achieved, and they could be on a plane to watch you as they watch Nelson Mandela find the freedom for the people of South Africa. Thank you again for a wonderful opportunity. This audience in New York is standing in appreciation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the plenary session is now concluded. Your Action Network and small group discussions will begin at 10:30 a.m. Please proceed to your destination.